Wow. I did not expect that.
Pickles the Gaijin Jamaican YouTuber. Ikimasho!
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Pickles the Gaijin here, Jamaican YouTuber. How you guys have been? How's it going? Alright, so this week I want to talk about a couple of things as usual. That's why I'm here. You want to hear me talk about stuff. Uh as yeah. Alright. So a couple of things I want to talk about is yesterday I was teaching at one of my schools, and one of the kids are a bit, as they say in Japan, Genki. And by Genki, they mean energetic. And by energetic, I mean they can't control themselves, ADHD or ADD. And Japan doesn't really diagnose mental illnesses like that. So you will find that you'll have kids in the system, and even in my regular lessons, that are untreated or undiagnosed. But who am I? I am not a doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist. I can't remember which one is which. I know one does the prescription of medicines and does the chemicals and stuff. But anyway, but yeah, and I've been teaching this particular student for maybe 2.5 years, and you know, sometimes the questions children ask are just, you know, unexpected from children. But then the questions that come from adults, here you have to wonder sometimes if these people, you know, paid attention in school or even cared. This this particular question I've been getting recently, and I guess some kids don't understand the concept. It's not that serious, but it's something I wanted to bring up, and it makes sense in the end. I hope. No, Japanese kids ask a lot of weird questions. Well, weird for us as foreigners. And one of the interesting questions was, not where are you from, but oh, you're a foreigner, right? So where do you live? So I'm like, huh? I'm like, bro, what are you saying, fam? I've been here for 2.5 years. I have lived in the same place for the last 2.5 years, and nothing has changed. It's just interesting to me because in his mind, there's no possible way a foreigner could be living here in Japan. I guess. And so one of those he says, "Kisarazu da yo." I'm like, yeah, what she said. The guy in the show. I'm like, yes, I'm a foreigner. Dakara. I'm like, but you thought I traveled from my home country every day back and forth? That's not possible. But in his mind, he couldn't just place it as that. That I lived in Kisrazu. But then he said, "Oh, it's far. Toy ne." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." You don't have to tell me, kid. You don't have to tell me. So, in a sense, friends, a lot of times as a teacher in Japan and an English teacher in Japan, I'm a joke about the English teacher thing. I had a friend that says, "You're not an English teacher, you're a teacher of English." But then what about the math teacher and the science teacher? You know, you're the teachers of science. Oh, well, technically, a teacher of math. Because the English teacher is someone from England. Well, it depends on the context, right? Anyway, I find it interesting that the children sometimes ask the same questions all the time, no matter how long you've been teaching. And I wonder sometimes if I'm really having the impact that I'm supposed to be having. Because when you have an impact or a positive impact or negative impact, any impact at all, you're remembered. It's when you're not making an impact that person's either forget your name or forget what you've done. But then again, I only see this kid once a month, and then I didn't see him for almost 3 months between Corona and his obvious fear of foreigners. That's a joke, guys. Uh, Invariably, I wanted also to look at the fact that a lot of the questions are born out of innocence and the lack of filter that children tend to have. And it's that innocence, that purity, that separates them from the more uh, inquisitive and manipulative adults, generally speaking, worldwide. When I was growing up, wow, I was so old. When I was growing up, I didn't realize that I didn't think about certain things. Uh, Things seem normal that I took for granted, like persons of different races, different skin tones, different hair types. That was just something that I grew up around in Jamaica. But when you're not exposed to those things, then I can understand why those questions are asked. I don't know why Japanese people think they're so smart and smarter than anybody, but they're very inquisitive. Them fast, yeah man. Them too enough sometimes, yeah man. Too much. And every little thing that you do, they want to know what's going on and what's involved and etc. etc. And no greater example than last week I was at the Kas- Kasai Rinsai Coin. That place, the park, I put them below where the party was. Where did Kasai Kasai Rinsai Coin? Whatever. Was at that park near the waterfront in Chiba. It's about 2 stops from my hammer station on the KU line. Cool. We're having a silent headphone party. And people are coming in and getting the headphones and start to listen to music or whatever. A group of adults with their children were about 50 meters away, just staring, looking at us, right? So instead of them coming across to ask us what's going on, they send their cute little children. And it's like they got across and the adults are watching them. It couldn't be any more obvious that you sent your children over here. And Nanny attender, like that's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, very brightly. And we said, oh, we're listening to music. Upon hearing that, they run back to their parents to report to them like good soldiers. They find this very funny, like they're outsmarting us for information. But we know what's happening. We know you send them and we're feeding the information that you want. Then I thought it was over. But of course not. No, 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 no. It was over. No, 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 no. It wasn't bloody over. They sent them back a second time. And I'm like, what the fudge is this sheesh? So the kids ask, do you te ongo kicking now? I'm like, fam, what? We told you we listen to music. Wasn't that enough? Oh, you're not hearing the music. So we're like, or you're still intrigued. Then we told them with headphone there. And they're like, you know what I mean? It was crazy though. Like, why you can't? If you want to know why, don't just come over and ask. And then, you know what? I don't care. You should just stay over there and leave us alone. And that was basically an example of how inquisitive people are in Japan. Usually, they'll mind their own business. Like when it comes to like a person falling or something like that. I guess, especially in the city. In the rural areas, they're a bit more homely. I think that's the word I want to use. Yeah, homely. But I remember I was in the train station, trying to catch a train, and it was kind of busy. It was at night, and a lady fell down the stairs, like at least 2 flights of stairs. I stopped to look back and I was like, should I go help or should I just keep my distance as a foreigner? Because then the narrative, oh, the foreigner did this and that, and probably she's afraid of me and I cause trauma or whatever. But I was just standing and watching to see if she was okay. Because usually I laugh, but I don't know her like that. And yeah, sorry, it's a long story from Arden. You know, when people fall at Arden, everybody laughs out, ha 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 ha, and you're embarrassed more from the laughing from the whole school than the actual fall. But anyway, eventually somebody went to her to help her, but people were stepping over her and going about the business. I was like, this is a cold world. Wow, I did not expect that. I didn't. I was like, wow, is this the hospitable and nice country, Japan, that cares about people and thinks about others, put others before them? Of course not. No, 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 not the my Japan, not my Japan. Oh no, 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 no. And then it goes even further when you have to work. Well, obviously, if you're working in Japan and living here, you're going to work with Japanese people. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting. In my experience, I work alone in my classroom generally. However, there are times when I have a Japanese coworker with me in the classroom, and sometimes I mind my own business, just chilling, you know, on my phone or whatever, and probably a question comes up. So Andre, what do you do this weekend? I'm like, what? Yeah, I heard you were going to blah 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 blah. How was that? I'm like, who told you that? I didn't tell you that. So how do you know? Yeah, I heard it. I heard it from blah 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 blah. Really interesting. Okay, so I know I'm not to tell you anything else. And then how Japanese people don't learn to mind their own business is another case like this. So I'm teaching my students, and we're talking about what we're going to do for the summer holiday. So I say to my students, I'm going to Nagoya because I want to see my friends. To give them an example to answer a question. And I said, Sensei, really? What about Corona? I said, no, man, I'll be fine. No worry. It's cool. A couple of days later, I get a message from my supervisor, panicking. Oh, I heard you're going to Nagoya tomorrow. Or whatever. I'm like, okay? I heard we're going to Nagoya. I'm like, yeah, but that's in the holiday when I have days off. I'm like, wow. So my Japanese coworker heard from the students that I was going to Nagoya, and she interpreted as me going to Nagoya tomorrow, which was a day off, but I had work the following. I had work the day after. So she told probably the head Japanese teacher, who then told my supervisor, who then came to me in a panic, like, why would you be going to Nagoya when you have work the following day? For perspective, Nagoya is about 3 hours away on the Shinkansen. I'm like, wait, 2.5 on the Shinkansen, and yeah, 6 hours by overnight bus, maybe 8 hours on a local train. So I could see where there's a problem there. But here's a dichotomy of the situation. You have to work with your coworkers, and you don't want to be. Well, for me, I'm a sociable person, and that's my issue. I think, and I'm too nice. I don't want to be callous and rigid, you know. But sometimes you can't even say you're going to use the bathroom because you're going to hear you use the bathroom from somebody else. Like, what is this? What is that information that should be spoken about or relayed to somebody? My God, you know, and that's how things happen here. It just, ugh, lots of rumors and gossiping. for no reason. And I remember another case where I was saying I was going back to Jamaica. So when you travel in Japan, when you travel in Japan, you or when you sorry when you leave the country or when you travel at all, when you return, you have to bring back omiyage, which is like a souvenir from where you traveled, the place from where you traveled. Here's the thing: I have about let's say 50 persons that I know in the company, okay? About four teachers that I work closely with, also some parents that I am close with. So I'm not telling people that I'm going to Jamaica because everyone say, "Oh, omiyage, eh? Omiyage, can I say? Like bring back something for me." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know you like that though. That's not how it works." So apparently in Japan, you're supposed to bring back stuff for everybody in the staff room or wherever. Me not upon that. That's not how I'm built, and I'm definitely not Japanese. They can keep that tradition. I bring up for those who care about. So my mistake was to tell somebody that I was going to Jamaica. Less than 48 hours later, another random Japanese person that I don't have a close relationship with is talking to me about me going to Jamaica and bringing back souvenirs. Me no know you so don't try to get in with me. It's too late. Too late to apologize. Oh God, voice is gone. Right, too late. So moving on from that and the inquisitiveness is that the word? The inquisitiveness, how inquisitive uh, these people tend to be. This is not meant to be offensive. All right, offensive. I mean, how inquisitive the Japanese are, and also for, no. Let's not even try to quantify how other foreigners gossip here. And sometimes the news, I hear everything, but I don't say it. I just I can't because there's so many different factions and little groups and cliques, and I just want everybody to be happy and live well. Why? It's just. And if you talk to this person, then you can't talk to that person. I don't play that. I don't play that. I don't play that. So, unless something egregious has been done to me or someone that I care about, I really don't have issues with people, to be honest. But then, you never know how someone may perceive you, you know. So yeah, moving on from that, I also want to look at relationships in Japan, long distance relationships, friendships, and how we can preserve or how they have been for me over this 6.5 years I've been here. It's hard. Maintaining friendships across time zones, across prefectures is so difficult. It is. And I recognize that, as you grow older, as you become more involved and become more immersed in the Japanese lifestyle, some things will fade away, some things will dissipate, some friendships will not be as strong as they should be. Some people just disappear. The season for them has ended. And oftentimes, you are one of the persons that disappear and don't even recognize it. I noticed recently that my messaging has been garbage, trash. I'm one that usually is prompt with messaging and replying. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, am I unbothered? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Tell me, if it's happening to you, anybody who has been in Japan for a while, do you notice that your messaging style has changed? Like, I'll look at the message and read it, and then in my mind, I've replied. Then I look back, wait, whoa, I didn't reply to this? Oh, crap. And then my friend will say, oh, the conversation has ended. It has expired. I'm like, wow, really? Yeah. So maintaining relationships is difficult because you're dealing with your own ish, especially here in Japan. You're away from Jamaica or away from your home country. You're dealing with the constant stuff in your workplace. And then you also have to deal with your own personal goals and if you're developing and you're advancing at the rate that you want to. Because sometimes growth is not linear. No, growth is not linear, full stop. It's not exponential sometimes. Sometimes there's a plateauing, there's a a state of stagnation, and then you grow again or you decline or whatever. So sometimes it can be frustrating. You can be going through your own little personal battles. And that also coupled with this year called 2020, right? So it's a lot going on. And most persons handle things differently and deal with trauma, deal with stress, deal with depression, deal with work differently. And they cope differently. And as a result, you find that they're not the same. They're not normal. This year's not normal. This year's just And I have found it difficult to maintain some of these friendships and to develop certain relationships. It's hard, really hard. And then also for those who are looking for love or dating or whatever, do you know your actual love language? That is so important. And I didn't recognize it until one of my friends suggested to me, hey, check your love language, check your personality type. And the more you actually see a manifestation, like you see the words on a screen or paper that describe you word for word, basically, and the things that you appreciate and treasure, oh, oh, cherish and treasure, then you're better able to communicate those things to other persons. And that's one of the major issues I feel in relationships from my generation. In Jamaica, you're growing up. Oh, my English is so bad. In Jamaica, men, especially, are not taught to feel, or not allowed to feel, and to communicate, use words to communicate these feelings. You man good. Mm, you're married, you know. Yeah, and that is essentially all you get. That is the vocabulary. That's the lexicon, full lexicon. Er, everything else is sounds, and just says that's the word. Rate you. Yeah. Nah, dog. Yeah, babes. Pretty much. That's it. If we do not use our words, if we're not able to speak and communicate effectively, then how are we going to develop and form and foster good relationships? What is your love language? For long distance relationships to work, there has to be a level of commitment and on both parties. And also, if your love language is something like physical touch, then a long distance relationship is going to be extremely difficult. If quality time is your love language, then a long distance relationship is going to be extremely difficult. And my love language is quality time. Me not care about traveling to Mars or Mauritius or Maldives or Indonesia or Bali or going to a fancy restaurant as long as I am with you. That's all that matters. So we could be studying together. We could be sitting down in a room lying down on the floor together. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to be in your presence. I just want to be where you are. That's like a song from that's lyrics from a song that from church. I wanna be where you are, dwelling in your presence. Sorry, that's really bad. Anyway, so yeah, that is my thing. And in Japan, the quality time thing, nah, it's not happening. I don't think it's really happening because everybody's so busy. Work, Sundays is another day. Work, 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 work. People work 6 days a week here, 7 days sometimes, odd hours. Schedules, timetable schedules are not syncing or able to sync. So you have that. Yeah, my people be like, but I don't know if it may work out because of whatever reason. Mm. And I'm picky. But yeah, persons who don't have a solid foundation won't be able to last with these LDRs, long distance relationships. And some people find it an impossible task to be committed to somebody who they can't see or physically touch. Yeah. And just friendships in general. How do you maintain something that, you know, you don't really, I don't know. Like, out of sight, out of mind is the same. And I think I've lost a good amount of friends. And then also people who change locations. Their demeanor might change, their interactions will change, the persons around them change, so they might be more happy in that setting, and so they have less time to spend with persons they used to spend time with. So all these things are possible. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. How much time got? All right. So we're gonna wrap up today slowly but surely. What did I talk about today? I talked about relationships, the weird question that Japanese kids ask me, um, how inquisitive Japanese people are, and just to wrap this up with a little bit of a story. Uh, no, no, we're not remembering the story. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. All right, people. Thank you for another. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the PDGCAST. See you soon. And if you can't be good, be creative. Pig as a gaijin, Jamaican YouTuber. Ikimasho. If you made it to the end of this video, hashtag new merch. Because in about 2 weeks, new merch will be available. Pig as a gaijin. I'll post a link as soon as it's ready, but I've been teasing it a while. You'll see it. I hope you support me. And I'm thinking about starting a Patreon. If you guys want to see me start a Patreon with exclusive content, separate and apart from what is being posted on YouTube, probably a series only for Patreon. Like I'm thinking of moving Shots and Thoughts to Patreon, where it will be more raw with persons taking shots and we're talking about stuff. All right. See you in the next video.